It's my turn, right?
Yep.
Okay. I forgot what it was. Actually, this would be number 25. Yes. And again, looking at this list, man, it just gets harder and harder and harder to pick your movies. But I got to go with one that I always enjoyed watching in October, especially when I played it on TV. I own the DVD, but still. 13 Ghosts. Okay. I like that movie, man. I really do. I think some people think it's like super cheesy, but I really enjoy that movie. I think Matthew Lillard plays the shit out of
the psychic.
The psychic, yes. I think he does a hell of a good job. I think the Juggernaut, is it the Juggernaut or the Jackal?
The Jackal.
The Jackal is creepy as shit.
Yeah.
If that thing was chasing me,
well, they had a couple really good ones. There's the one with the railroad spikes in him.
Yeah, he's cool too. I cannot think what ghost he was though.
I don't remember. But it's funny that you brought this up because I just recently read the backstory of all those ghosts, like how they were and what happened to them to like make them the way they were.
And that was a remake of an original movie too.
Yeah. So. But somebody made a comment, and I really hope Netflix is smart and picks this up, that they should make a 13-episode series of
each of the ghosts
of each individual story.
That'd be cool as hell.
I would watch the shit out of that.
HBO just picked up. I just read today they're picking up a Maniac Cop series.
Nice.
So how cool is that?
Yeah,
that's kind of sweet. Why not 13 Ghosts?
Yeah.
The ghost that was all slashed up, and you can see her boobs.
The princess.
I just want to say that she's a very attractive woman. So much so that you think she's like, oh look, she's dead, but damn it, but then she has a knife, and she will fuck you up. So don't. That dude got the lawyer. Remember the lawyer? Yeah. He split.
He
said
nice tits.
He did. And do you remember that the very lame joke though when he did? So she backed him up into that thing, and the glass closed and it split him in half.
Yeah.
And then the next line was, "Where'd the lawyer go?" Oh, I think he split. Exactly. But no, nonetheless, cool ass movie. Always enjoy watching that one in October, or just anytime really. But 13 Ghosts, man, that's my pick.
And you know what? That's on my list. So,
hey,
13 Ghosts. There we go. We don't even have to go ahead.
We're going head to head on this one. 13 Ghosts versus 13 Ghosts. Holy shit.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So in this case, let's pick what ghost you got going against.
Oh man.
You picking the Jackal?
If I pick we're going the most terrifying ghost in the movie, Jackal, 100%.
I'm going with the Juggernaut. The very first one.
He was a good one too.
Yep.
Yes.
Split the guy in.
Yes.
Not split, but like crushed him in half and
dude,
pulled him through the car.
Huge. The guy was huge. I mean, yeah. If you put those two head to head, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a tough call. That's a tough call. All right, so we look at that. Head to head.
Head to head.
13 Ghosts.
Nice.
Hey, you know who wins in that situation? You.
Everybody.
Watch it. Enjoy it. All right, man, you're up.
My next movie, going back to the horror comedy. Actually, this one's more sci-fi comedy. Mars Attacks.
Mars Attacks. Yes.
This one I watch every single year. I'm not even gonna lie. And at my last Halloween party, I think I had it on TV, like on repeat.
Yes, so I remember that.
Which this time, I'm gonna have multiple movies playing.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Mars Attacks, horror comedy, aliens coming from outer space. The very beginning, where this is the best way to set up any kind of horror comedy movie. Hillbilly guy comes down the street on his tractor, pulls up to, I think the guy was Thai, and says, what is this, some kind of Thai New Year? I can smell your barbecue all the way down the street. And the Thai guy goes, I smell it too, but that's not me. Herd of cattle come running down the street, all on fire.
Yes.
And then there's the spaceship that flies away. Best way to start. Best way to start.
Cool ass. I love the song.
Lots of names in it too.
Oh man, that was like a who's who.
Yeah, there's Sarah Jessica Parker, Jack Black was in it, Christina Applegate was in it,
Jack Nicholson
was in it. He played 2 roles in that movie.
Yes, he did.
Tom Jones played himself in that movie.
Yes, sure did. Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan was in it.
What's the big guy's name that was the at the casino, working at the casino? Jim Brown.
Oh, Jim Brown. Yep. It was in it. Yeah, it was. You're right. A who's who of.
It really was. Yeah. Michael J. Fox, I think, had a role in that too. Didn't
he? Yep. Yeah. And then
that was a hell of a cast. Wow, man.
I mean, a lot of those people weren't like super big at that time.
Right.
Still,
yeah. Look at their careers now, though. Yeah. Or even used to be.
I mean, Jack Black had maybe 5 lines in that whole movie.
Right.
Before he died.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Remember the song though that killed the aliens? That was the best.
Oh, the yodeling.
Yeah. Dude, I love when movies take those old songs, like the scene in House of a Thousand Corpses, and they're doing the whole thing where like the people have seen now that guy found his daughter in the garage and all this stuff, and now you got the old music playing, and then it becomes no sound whatsoever except for that music playing over it. And then I remember sitting in the theater when Otis had the gun on the dad, and we thought the movie paused or something happened because it's that long. I think I counted it down one time. It was like 30 or 32-second pause, and there's nothing. And we're just sitting there going, "Man, did this movie just fuck up in this theater?" And then boom, he shoots the gun and kills him. I love when they take old songs like that and throw them in movies. Not so much like like the end of 31 where they had Dream On playing, which was a cool ass scene. Don't get me wrong. Or Devil's Rejects when they did Freebird. But when it takes the older songs like that and throws them in, just something about it, man. So yeah, you had the yodeling song that killed the aliens, which was cool as shit.
The military's walking around with their tanks, but then instead of like the shooting stuff, it's just the speakers on the side of it.
Right.
Yeah.
That would probably make my head explode too. I'm just saying. After hours of hearing it, yeah, my head would explode too. All right, so Mars Attacks. I got to go with one of my personal favorites as a kid. Still love it today. And as soon as I say it, you're going to know why. The Worst Witch.
Yes.
Tim Curry. That's all I'm going to say. Tim Curry. Everybody knows, love Tim Curry. Love his stuff.
Likewise.
Him playing the Grand Wizard and the Worst Witch. He didn't have a huge role in that movie, but his role stood out.
Yeah.
Because you had, and he had a very young Fairuza Balk, who most people remember from The Craft, was Mildred Hubble, the Worst Witch in that movie. So this poor little girl, she just wanted to, go to the school of witches and stuff, and she just couldn't get her shit straight.
Not Hogwarts.
No, not Hogwarts at all. This was the, what the hell? You know who ran it? It was
Black Arts School.
Well, you know who ran it, which was kind of funny, was, what the hell was her name on The Facts of Life? The lady that they, oh my God, why can't I think? Do you remember The Facts of Life, the TV show?
I do, but I
well, her real name is Charlotte Rae.
See, I always mix up characters from TV shows, like
Yes.
Here's the Box, Facts of Life, yeah.
Well, her real name is Charlotte Rae, and a lot of people would know her from Facts of Life. And her name is right there, and I'm going to blurt it out sometime during this episode because it's going to hit me. But she played the main lady that ran the school. And she was always just a sweet lady, and she was a nice little old witch and stuff. Now, the other lady, Mrs. Hardworm, she was a bitch. She was not a nice lady, but she had a little crush on Tim Curry's Grand Wizard character, just saying. But no, the song for that movie, always one of my favorites, and anything can happen on Halloween. 1st of October every year, I send that to my friend Jesse on Facebook, and that's how we start our October season. But no, if we're gonna, I have to. It's got that movie will never not be on my list.
That's
never.
fair.
That is one of my all-time favorite movies, and it's childish and cheesy as shit, but I love it. Just saying. So yeah, we got Mars Attacks versus the Worst Witch. You got Aliens versus Tim Curry, man. The Grand Wizard versus, and not the Grand Wizard. Some of you are thinking, so don't go there. The Grand Wizard versus Aliens. Well, you know where I'm going. I'm just saying, you know where I'm going.
Listen, all right, because Tim Curry's in it, I'm giving it to you.
Tim Curry wins every time, man.
I need to change my list to all Tim Curry movies.
Yes, and we probably could do that one day.
A Tim Curry?
We probably could.
Yeah.
You know what? I have Tim Curry in another one of my movies.
I've got at least 5 that I can
If
think
you
of.
guys are up to date, you probably know which one it is. Just saying. All right, man. I think it's you or me.
You're up.
I'm up. Oh boy. Okay. Here I go again.
Number 23.
Oh, and this is the thing, man. I really do have a list here. You can see it. It's a mess, but yeah. All right, I'm gonna go with one that I feel like again isn't something that gets a lot of notoriety from people. All right, so I'm gonna go Brain Scan. Do you remember that movie?
I do remember that.
All right, so here's the thing. Video games have always been a very popular thing. But I feel like when that movie came out, I think it was kind of before its time. So it wasn't so much necessarily a video game per se as it was a computer game. But still, this kid, Edward Furlong, gets this game and he starts to play it, and it becomes like it's almost real life, man. This is a really intense type of game. You got the trickster who comes out of this game, who I think could have been a character in like a sequel or something. You could have done this. You don't want to overdo it.
Yeah.
But let's just think. Okay, you started out a computer game. Why not move on to a system? You can. This movie could have been done, not a remake, but a sequel, and you could have continued doing this, man. You could have gave Edward Furlong a quick cameo. Why couldn't he have been in someone else's like story or something?
Yeah.
To try to explain to them, don't do this shit.
Right.
You know.
Not too late.
Right.
They can always make it.
I mean, Edward Furlong isn't doing much these days, so I'm sure he would jump on the bandwagon on doing a Brain Scan sequel, just saying. But no, it was a cool-ass movie. Like I said, he's playing this game, and it becomes very real, and it's they're trying to figure out who a killer is, and he finds out that he's the one actually doing it. But then you realize that, I think you realize that it's just a game, but then the trickster's still around, and then he passes the game off to his principal at the end of the movie. So, I mean, I don't know, man. It might have been real. It's hard to say. I enjoyed the movie, though.
The other thing about this is, you remember Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes.
They did a concept similar to this with a pinball game. You remember that?
Yeah.
Where like he was playing the game in the mall, gets basically sucked into the pinball game, but he's still in the mall, and he like gets done playing the game, turns around, realizes the mall's all locked up, and he's actually in the pinball game.
Hell yeah! Which is again, man, you could.
They take old movies like this, and they
old shows.
And they steal stuff from it, like we were talking about with Freaks.
Yep.
And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, because if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right. I really agree that I think that they could do something else with brain scan today, especially with video games being so popular right now.
Absolutely. All right, so for my movie, I'm gonna pick Poltergeist.
And that's over there. It's right over there, the big box VHS version
with the brain on top of it.
Yes.
This is another one I saw when I was younger, and it creeped the crap out of me.
Good movie, man.
I mean, both of them. The second one,
the third one even was decent too. What was it? I mean, Reverend Cain's a creepy bastard.
Yeah.
Let me just say.
But this is the one that like it. The psychic lady that I can't remember her name, but
Tangina.
Yes. Go to the light will always haunt my dreams.
Man,
anytime I think of this movie,
she was a creepy little lady.
She wasn't even the bad person in the movie.
She was
which makes it so scary.
Right.
Like, so the difference between a poltergeist and a ghost is the ghost will just haunt your ass, and I mean, obviously, like 13 ghosts, they didn't even kill you, blah blah blah. They come at you as a ghostly form. The poltergeist uses everything around you to try to kill you.
Very true.
They'll make in the second one, they make the reflections come to life and stuff, and I mean, it's just one of those movies that it's not gory,
no,
but it's creepy.
I tell you what's
and it will always be creepy, no matter how old I get.
What's even creepier about the movie is all the bad shit that happened on the set. People dying. I believe the guy who played the Indian, he passed away. The shit that they realized, remember when they were in the pool, and then all the skeletons were popping up? Yeah. Those were actual, real skeletons. Yes, they didn't tell the actors that until later on, but they were real skeletons popping up in there. Like, that was some freaky shit. There was a lot of bad juju on that set.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of bad juju.
Sounds like the same with The Exorcist.
Man, yeah, the shit that they had to go through on that too.
Yeah,
man, I tell you.
But so we got Poltergeist versus Brain Scan.
Poltergeist wins. I mean, come on, it's classic.
Yeah.
Brain Scan's good, but Poltergeist is a classic. You got to go Poltergeist, man.
All right, I'm up.
Yes, sir.
I'm starting it with Let the Right One In.
Okay, I remember this one.
So this is a foreign film. They remade it a couple years ago.
Yep.
And they called it Let Me In. Mm-hmm. It's a vampire movie.
Yes.
The foreign one is so much better. Again, these foreign movies, I'm telling you.
Dude, the foreign, the like you said, the Japanese. I think this was French. Yeah. Dude, some of their movies are really good.
Yeah.
They take them and they bring them here, and then they just.
And the thing is, like, it's graphic.
Yes.
But it's not over the top graphic. It's not like the gore for the sake of gore thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the swimming pool scene at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
The girl tells the boy to go under the girl's. All right. So the little girl's a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
She has a caretaker. He dies. Yes. The little boy and the girl are friends. She won't bite him. The little boy is kind of like a nerdy, weird, just out there kid, and gets picked on.
She feels bad for
the
kid.
Yeah. And he gets picked on.
Yep.
So there's a scene where he's at the pool and in the school, and these bullies are basically. I mean, let's be honest. They're basically able to kill him.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
And she shows up. And my favorite part about this is she tells him to go under the water and keep his eyes closed. So you go under the water with him, you're looking at his face, and in the background you just see bloody body parts flying into the pool. It's such a good scene.
Honestly, I don't think the American version pulled it off as well.
No, the American version was not nearly as good. And I love the traditional value of this movie that kind of explains why the vampire has to be invited in, which is why it's called Let the Right One In.
Absolutely.
I think it's very well done. And again, being a foreign film, they have obviously some kind of extra liberty with what they can do.
I agree. All right, man. So it's my turn, huh? All right. So this is a little bit, and I said I don't do a lot of newer movies, but this one was cool. This one was on Alan's list last year.
Okay.
And I did not see it, which is odd for
at that point.
Right. And I have seen it since. I've actually seen all three of them since because it's a trilogy. Hell House LLC. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not.
All right. So these group of people, they buy this place called the Abaddon Hotel, and they want to start a haunted house. This place has a history of very fucked up things going on there. So your classic horror movie where you probably shouldn't go in there and do things, but you're dumb and you're going to do it anyway because, hey, it's got a cool history. Let's bring people in. Needless to say, a lot of fucked up shit happens. There is this clown prop throughout this movie that moves, and I'm not going to lie, it's kind of creepy. But just the ghost and the cool shit that they do with this movie, I thought, honestly, dude, it's one of those ones that I watched it because Alan said, hey, man, you got to see this movie. I finally had found it, and I watched it that day. And I'll tell you what, it keeps you on the edge of your fucking seat. Like, you're like, holy shit, dude. Really cool-ass movie. The sequel was good. I don't want to say it was as good, but it still kept you going, holy shit, this is cool, man. The third one I just recently saw, and I was not overly the weakest of the three. Okay. But this first one, Hell House LLC, check it out. I think you'll like it, man, because I know you like the ghost stories and all that stuff, too. And
absolutely.
Like basically, it's like a haunted hotel, and you'll find out why and all this shit that goes down. Really cool way to do it. You need to see that one for sure.
All right.
So if we're gonna pick against those two, I gotta go with yours, man. Let the right one in. That pool scene, man. No, that pool scene. Good shit.
That does it.
Yeah, good
shit.
I'm you. All right, is it me or you?
You're up.
Oh boy. And again, this list gets harder and harder. All right, you know what? Because my other one will be so later on the list, I got to go with one that will not be a surprise to anyone or you. Halloween 2, 1981. You have to specify the year now because there's two Halloween 2s.
Right.
We're not going to talk about the second Halloween 2 because... But, yeah, Halloween 2, 1981. No surprise here. I am a huge fan of Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise.
Yep.
Some people, I think... Actually, there's more people that like Halloween 2 than hate Halloween 2. But some people don't get it. They don't like the actor who played Michael Myers. To me, I thought he did a great job at it. Some people don't like this and that. They nitpick about it. But if you watch the original Halloween from 78, you watch Halloween 2 from 81, it is a continuation of 78. Now, obviously, it came out several years later, but it's a continuation of the same night. So Michael Myers gets shot, falls off the balcony, and it picks up right from there.
He disappears after falling off the balcony in original.
He disappears. You don't know what happened to him. You don't know if he's dead, alive, dying somewhere. You don't know. And he ends up finding his sister, which you find out later in the movie, in a hospital. The Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, where he then terrorizes for the rest of the movie. I enjoy Halloween 2. It's one of my favorites in the whole franchise.
It's a good one.
I don't have nothing bad to say about the movie. Listen, I love the whole Halloween franchise, where everybody hates Resurrection for certain reasons. Everyone hates H2O for certain reasons. I find reasons to like them because there's certain stuff that people hate. Halloween 3. I like Halloween 3. It took me years to get to that point. But I like Halloween 3 for what it is. You watch it for what it is. And a lot of people don't realize Halloween was supposed to be, in Carpenter's mind, he never wanted to do a sequel. But he did want to do a thing where it was almost like kind of an anthology, but different movies. So each installment of Halloween would be a different story.
All right.
That's why Halloween 3 was what it was, and there was no Michael Myers. Because they wanted to try something different. And to most people it bombed, but to me I thought it was fun.
That's fair.
So, let's see, man.
I'm going to go against, let's use Pet Sematary.
Oh.
We're going to go an older movie versus an older movie. And I'm talking about the original, not the remake that was also garbage.
You know, there's parts of it I like, but there's parts of it I love John Lithgow. We talked about him earlier with Twilight Zone the movie.
Yep.
But as Judd Crandall in Pet Sematary, no.
Right.
No.
But
because that's on my list too, so I'm going to touch on it too.
Okay, so Pet Sematary, simple concept. When the pet dies, they go bury it in the pet cemetery. It comes back to life. Yeah. Little boy dies. Oh wait, I should specify. It comes back to life, but it doesn't come back the same. It comes back evil. Their cat dies earlier in the movie. They bring the cat back. Cat's mean. You know, that's the best way to describe it.
Church mean as fuck.
Mean.
Like, yeah. The cat was so nice.
Their little boy dies.
Yes.
And gets hit by a semi. Which, alright, why there's anything to bury after a little boy gets hit by a semi going like 80 miles per hour down the street, I don't know.
There could have been, and well, yeah, because you see the scene where the dad and the grandpa get to the fight at the funeral, and then the body falls out of the cat. It's like, what was left of that little boy?
Yeah.
He was what, 3, 4?
Yeah.
Nothing.
But anyway, so they go and bury the little boy in the pet cemetery. So the boy comes back to life, and the boy is evil.
Yes.
And the scene What bothers me the most, the Judd going up the stairs.
Yeah, I know right where you're talking. Yep.
Little boy cuts his Achilles tendon.
Yeah, that is sickening, dude. Sickening.
There's always going to be something about... Here's the thing. 2 things that bother me in any kind of scary movie. Achilles tendons being cut, and teeth where they're not supposed to be long.
Yes.
Those are the 2 things.
Well, there was a movie about that. You never saw it, though. That's the only depressing point of that movie. The girl had teeth in her vagina. Do you not want to see what that looks like? Because I did. Never saw it. Never showed it to you. So, the concept was cool.
Yeah.
But I want to see the vagina with teeth. Just saying.
But, so that's my pick.
I dig it, man. So we're head to head with Pet Sematary and Halloween 2. I mean, you know where my loyalties lie.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. You know
lie.
where my loyalties lie.
And the only reason I picked Pet Sematary against you was
it's a great movie, though.
Because it was the only thing I could think of that could compete with, in your mind.
Well, you know,
it's a classic.
It is. You're right. Absolutely. It's on my list.
I mean, the only thing better would have been if I picked a Tim Curry movie.
Oh, Tim Curry. Well, I do have another one. All right, we're gonna take a break. We got how many more left here?
20
we're
left.
knocking them out, man. We got 20 left, and we'll be right back.
Alright, we're back, guys, and
You're up.
I think I got you with one that you haven't seen.
All right, let's do it, man.
And it's called The Sighting, originally called Paper Dolls.
Ah, this is the one that was made by your cousin, wasn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
And you can
got me there.
You can rent it at Family Video. They sell it at stores.
Nice.
I own my own copy of The Sighting. I also
do need to
own
see
my own
this.
copy of Paper Dolls.
You've told me about this several times.
So
I do need to see it.
This is a Bigfoot movie.
Okay.
And I think Bigfoot movies are also cheesy. But they do it so well, they change the concept of what Bigfoot is. Bigfoot's not actually these gorilla monsters running around. They are, so there's this history lesson for you guys.
Okay.
They were trying to find a passage
All right.
through the mountains.
Okay.
And it was a Spanish, I want to say Ponce de Leon.
Okay.
I could be wrong on that.
Sounds right
Sorry
to me.
if I'm wrong.
I'm not going to dispute it.
Yeah. And he had slaves.
All right.
Well, basically, long story short, they cut the slaves' tongues out
Oh.
so that they can't talk.
Okay.
They have them all shackled together,
All right.
and they get lost. They're starving, blah, blah, blah. It's easier to just let the slaves go, you know, and find their way out. So they let the slaves go. The slaves kind of come together and form their own little community thing, have kids, whatever. As like a rite of passage, they cut their kids' tongues out because they, you know, and they come up with their own like grunts and howls and everything to make noises. Bigfoot grunts and howls.
Right.
It's cold in the mountains. They bundle up. They kill animals. Whatever. They're shackled together. They surround them with their like holding their hands together like paper dolls. So,
Okay.
time goes on. It's modern day, you know, modernish day because this was a few years ago. It was made like it was still flip phones and stuff.
Gotcha.
But anyway. These guys are going to Canada, and on their way to Canada, they encounter these Bigfoot creatures standing in the middle of the road, holding hands around their car.
Okay.
And so there's actually 2 concepts to this, and it's very Alfred Hitchcockian.
All right.
The one kid gets away after all of it, calls the other kid's brother that got taken by the Bigfoots.
Okay.
They're trying to find the brother. They're in a cabin. The Bigfoots are attacking the cabin now.
Sure.
The brother gets killed. So the kid gets back home. Cops come. They start talking about how he's had psychological issues since his mother died. They think that he's the killer. He's trying to convince them that there's Bigfoot out there, all this stuff.
Of course, when they believes that.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you guys the ending.
Yeah, actually,
I want you to see
I
this
want
movie.
to see this too.
I have a copy. I'll let you watch it.
Yes, I need to.
But it's very well done. It's a different take on Bigfoot, and it is a very good idea for Bigfoot.
I was actually in a Bigfoot movie called Beast of Our Fathers, which is coming out in November.
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. I had a small role. I played a cop, but still, very cool movie. From what I can see, like pictures and some of the clips I've seen, looks like a lot of fun. So I actually want to see that one. All right, man, I'm coming back at you with House, which is right there next to you. Have you ever seen that one?
You know what? I haven't, and you know how many times I wanted to watch it and I haven't. And
all right, so
here's the big thing about it.
Okay.
When I was younger, I used to get House and Pulse confused. So
okay.
I used to think I watched House, but I watched Pulse.
So William Catt, who was the, if I remember right, the old show, the Last American Hero or something like that. Wasn't that the show from the 80s?
I remember.
Something like that.
Yeah.
William Catt plays the main character in this movie, and you find out that his aunt passed away, and he inherits his house. A house that you realize that he lost his son in several years prior to this. He's divorced now because of all the bullshit that went down with that. So he moves back into this. He decides to move into this house now, and he's a writer, so he's going to write his book now and all this shit, and all this goofy shit starts happening. George Wendt is his neighbor, who's Norm from Cheers, which is funny because there's like a Cheers theme in these movies. Because in House 2, Cliff is in the movie. So I mean, I don't know what's going on there, but you know, whatever. But no, man, there's a lot of cool shit that goes on. There's this, his wife shows up at one point, and she turns into this big purple dressed, having, like, we call it a purple bitch. I don't know what else to call her, man. But she's creepy as shit. There's, like, garden tools flying to the house at him and shit, and all this other weird shit. And he has, like, this backstory of him being in, like, the war and stuff. So his friend, Ben, who was in the war, he basically left Ben hanging. Ben got killed. And you find out later at the end, you know, which I probably shouldn't tell you because you haven't seen it yet. I'm not going to tell him. You have to watch it. But if you've seen House, you know what it's all about. Cool-ass movie. A little cheesy, but fun.
I mean, it's 80s. It's
good
cheesy.
usage of old music, too, for some of the scenes, which is pretty cool. But I'm not going to say anything else about it because you need to watch it.
I will.
Fun-ass movie, dude.
Definitely going to watch it.
So it's House against The Sighting.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't really compare. I haven't seen House. You haven't seen
we're
Sighting.
We're gonna
count. This is a draw.
Number 19. I think it's 19. Is it me, right?
Yep.
Oh boy. See again. I'm looking at this list and it's getting harder and harder to pick ones, man. All right, I got to go with my ultimate cheesy favorite. Watched it as a kid, loved it, still love it today. Dead Dudes in the House. I see the look on your face. You're like, what the fuck?
That's a real movie.
About? That is a real movie. It has several other names, but Dead Dudes in the House is the one I like. Just saying. But it does have several other names, but that is one of the names of the movie. It wasn't made by Troma, but it is picked up through them and is distributed through them. And at one point, it was only available through like a pack of other movies, and I like instantly bought it because I love the movie. But then recently, I got a Blu-ray version of it, which cool as shit. So anyway, Dead Dudes in the House. Me and my friend Christian used to watch this when we were kids. Me and Jesse have watched it several times as adults. I need to watch it this month because I'm really behind, and I still need to watch that one. I don't know how else to explain this to you except for it's super cheesy. People die in this house, but they come back as zombies. I guess zombies. You can call them zombies, but they still talk and shit. So I don't know what kind of zombies they are, but damn it, there's something.
All right.
Phantoms, maybe. I don't know what you want to call them. But there's this very old lady in the house, and she's hilarious, dude. I don't know how else to describe her except for it's just a very off-the-wall, cheesy horror movie, but it's always been one of my favorites.
All right.
You know I like my cheesy shit.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but this one's tops my list.
Right.
So what do you got, man?
I got Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds.
Okay. So you just blew mine completely out of the water. So when we sit here and compare these movies, damn it, it's got to be Birds. Just saying. Damn it.
It's Alfred Hitchcock.
No, it is.
It's hard to beat Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, I'm not going to dwell on Alfred Hitchcock, but it's so... I like this movie a lot because I saw it when I was younger.
Yeah.
And again when I was younger. And again, The Birds, for about a month scared me in.
Oh,
If I ever saw more than like 4 at a time, I was freaked out.
So when they're flying south or north, whatever you want to
call
it,
and you see that giant V,
you're like,
I'd be like, nope, here we go.
Exactly.
Or I'd come outside, go hop on a school bus or whatever, and there's birds in the yard.
So my question is, what is it with Alfred Hitchcock? It was the shower scene in Psycho, and it was overall just birds from Birds. Mm-hmm. It really makes you think. It's that psychological shit. Yeah. It makes you really think, man.
I mean, he was a twisted man.
Yes.
But yeah, and again, it's just birds attacking people. It sounds so simple. And it's like, how can you make a movie about this? But he did. Mm-hmm. And there's a full story to it. And it's good.
I agree.
If you haven't seen The Birds, go check out Birds 2, not so much.
No. But the original, yes.
Yeah.
I actually found that at Big Lots for $5.
Nice.
Could not pass that up.
I wouldn't have either.
Yeah. I had to get that for my collection. I have a huge horror collection. No surprise to anybody, I don't think. But yeah. When you see that for that cheap, you got to pick it up. You have to.
All right.
All right, so
Am I
we're
going
going
to 18?
number 18. Oh, we're
18. I'm going to pick another. It's not a comedy. This one's more of a children's movie.
All right.
We're going with Coraline.
Okay.
Adapted from a book written, I think, in 1930s.
Yes.
Geared towards children, but there's some creepy scenes in there.
Yes.
The other mother is very demented.
Am
the
I right
concept
to
of
say
sewing people's...
This is Tim Burton, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The concept of sewing buttons into people's eyes
Yes.
is just demented.
Tim Burton's a twisted motherfucker. Let's be honest.
He is.
He's low key twisted motherfucker, but he's twisted.
But yeah, I mean it's one of those ones that I watch it when I decorate my house for Halloween every year, just because I've seen enough times that I hear the noise in the background. I know what's going on.
Right.
The characters in it are just weird and odd looking, and just it's twisted. It's a kids movie, but I don't consider it a kids movie.
You know what? A lot
There's
of these
some adult
movies
themes
that
in
they
there.
say are kids movies really aren't geared directly towards kids.
Exactly.
Let's be on Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Not necessarily just a kids movie.
Or just because it's animated doesn't mean it's a kids movie.
Right. Paranorman.
Yeah.
A lot of these movies, more adults watch these than kids.
The Corpse Bride.
Yes.
The idea of going to the underworld with a bunch of basically zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree, man. So mine, if we're going to go that route, I figured since I'm looking through my list here, and I was like, you know what? He went Coraline, I'm going to come back at you with Hocus Pocus.
Oh.
Because let's be honest, this was on my list last year. Hocus Pocus is a fun movie.
Yep.
It's
Binks.
a Halloween classic.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest here. It's not necessarily geared just towards kids either.
No.
Like, it goes along the line of what we just said. It's not really just saying, okay, this is just a full-fledged kids movie.
Right.
A lot of them aren't. Like we said that. Look how creepy.
They make references in it like about being a virgin and stuff like that.
Right.
That's the whole theme. I mean, I didn't know what a virgin was as a kid.
Right. Look how did you try to light the candle though?
Always. I still have a black candle at home.
Let's see. Well, you can do it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. So, but no, we're thinking about that. We're talking about how stuff wasn't really geared towards kids. Look at I mentioned earlier. Are You Afraid of the Dark? That was more of a kid show on Nickelodeon.
It was a kid show. I
But it
watched
was
as a
creepy,
kid,
though.
but I was scared.
Goosebumps. A kid show, but creepy though in
Yeah.
some cases, man. A lot of these shows weren't just geared towards kids.
Right.
A lot of shit that we watched, we still watch it now. I still watch Goosebumps. I will still watch Are You Afraid of the Dark? Just came back. I haven't seen it yet, but it just came back.
Yeah.
So
There's a movie out.
Yeah.
I gotta see that movie.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Remember
Kids
that?
book.
It was a kid's book.
But they made it into a movie.
Exactly.
Which wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be.
No, but
it was still
it was well done.
It made me relive my childhood.
And
That's all that mattered.
we'll say two words. Jangly Man. That's all I'm going to say. That was creepy.
And he's a real contortionist.
Yes, he is. I've seen the videos. You actually showed me. Mm-hmm. Yes, that is some creepy shit. The dude can actually do that with his body.
Nope.
That, again, is what Kevin likes to call a tangent. We did roll off into one.
Yep.
But yes, Hocus Pocus, great movie. You can't... There's so much good about that movie.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And in this case, I'm not even going to debate it. It's Hocus Pocus over Coraline. I love Coraline,
I
but
think that's
it's
a win-win,
Hocus
though, man. Hocus Pocus is good.
Yeah.
I have to... All right. Number 17. Go for it.
You're on.
I'm on. Oh, shit. I got to... See, you're making me go through this list again, man. This is getting tougher. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go here. Night of the Living Dead. 68. Not the remakes, which I will say the remake was fun. But we're talking the original George Romero classic. That started it all. Night of the Living Dead. Which is cool because not too long ago, Cassie and I went to the cemetery where it was filmed. And of course, because I'm me and I'm a goofball, we decided to make our own skit from part of the movie. And just, you're there, why not film? Why not have some fun, right? But no, cool ass place, took some pictures, got to see a lot of the stuff that they did. Went to the little museum that's like right down the street too, and all
Nice.
that. And what can you say about that movie, dude? For its time in '68, it was just so well done.
Yeah.
Like the zombies weren't super. Really, it was black and white, so I don't think a lot of makeup was applied to these people because you didn't have to.
Yeah.
They were more ghouls than they were zombies.
Right.
They were eating real cow brains and shit and all that stuff. This is what you had to do back in the day.
Yeah.
You didn't have all the high-tech shit that you have now, which probably makes it better because it makes it stand out more.
And one of my favorite lines that I still quote today, they're coming to get you, Barbara.
Yes. And we did that scene at the... we filmed that scene. And for its time, and this is something that has been said before, but having a black actor in the main spot of the movie was a huge thing, man. Because you didn't see it. You didn't see stuff like that back then.
And I'm gonna do a little, not a tangent, but a tangent, regardless.
No, that's fine.
There is the Night of the Living Dead, the musical.
Yes.
That plays in Youngstown every year.
I know a kid that's actually in that.
Why can't I think of the name of the company?
Rust Belt?
Yeah, Rust Belt Theater Company. I'm going to go see it this year.
What is
see
that?
it every year.
They have to go.
They do it every weekend.
Oh, it's every
so,
okay.
Yeah, you have to reserve your tickets, though.
That's a bummer because my weekends kind of suck. But
Yeah.
I do know
Friday,
a
Saturday,
kid that's in that this year. I worked with him on a movie and a commercial.
And they do a great job at it every year.
I bet.
They definitely make it entertaining. They put some comedy in there.
Nice.
They put some current event stuff in there, and I mean they turn it into a musical, and they do really well with it.
I need to really
and the
check
little
that
girl that plays, I can't think of the little girl's name.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Does this creepy backward spider walk like Bray Wyatt style?
No.
And she walks down a set of stairs with it.
Oh, so she did the scene from The Exorcist.
Basically,
The
yeah.
scene.
She's really good at what she does.
Man,
So
I know exactly what you're talking about too, because they bring the lady that played that character in the actual movie to the conventions a lot.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking
I
about.
got to meet her too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Kara Scone,
Yeah.
or something like that. I can't say her last name, but yeah.
But
yeah.
go check it out, guys. It's a little shout out for them,
Yeah.
because I enjoy it every year. So, I don't really have anything good to compete with you, so I'm just gonna go with. I mean, it's
any
good,
movie's good
in my mind, but I'm using From Hell.
Okay, I like that movie.
It is the story of Jack the Ripper, but it's from Johnny Depp plays the detective in it,
Yes.
and he's constantly getting high and drinking absinthe, and he's basically trying to find Jack the Ripper. It's a very cool idea of how they, we still don't know who Jack the Ripper actually was,
Right.
but they put an answer to it in the movie. And it's just conceptual, but they keep it historically accurate with killing prostitutes and everything. So
Some movies
one,
change up when they do this.
Yeah,
Stories like that.
it's one I watch every year, but it's not horror so much. But it's
horror-esque though.
It's real life horror.
Story.
Yeah, it
so
is
that
real
works.
life horror. So.
Right, absolutely, man. And those are scarier sometimes than some of the made-up shit, because, like we said, that can happen in real life.
Yep.
All right.
I gotta give it to Night of the Living Dead though.
That is a great classic movie.
I mean, yeah.
That's the one, like we said, it started it all, man. So Night of the Living Dead, then branched off to Dawn of the Dead. Then you got Day
And
of the
you could
Dead.
show a clip of Night of the Living Dead because it's free domain
That is
now
public
too.
domain, yes. We can actually do that. They're coming to get you, Barbara. And they probably will get you. All right, so now we're moving on to number
16. My choice. It's Shutter Island.
That's the one with
Leonardo
Leonardo
DiCaprio.
DiCaprio. Yep. I have to tell you that I've never seen this one.
It is. You've never seen this one?
No.
Oh man, it is so good.
I haven't.
He is playing a detective at a mental institution.
Okay.
And it's weird. The way that people are treating him is weird. The way that they're trying to hide things from him is weird.
Right.
It is more of a suspense thriller over horror, but it's still put it in my Halloween movie collection.
Okay.
And it has a good twist ending, and you don't know if eventually they're basically trying to convince him that he is in the hospital.
Oh, okay.
And that
But he himself is a patient.
Yeah.
Okay.
And at the end, you're trying to figure out if he is or if he isn't, and it's got a nice twist ending, and I'm not going to ruin it because you haven't seen it.
I need to see that.
So
I have to admit,
I'm going to leave it at that.
All right, so you went mental institution type of movie, right? I'm going to fire back with you for the 90s. Not necessarily he came from a mental institution. Dr. Giggles.
Okay.
You ever seen Dr. Giggles?
No.
Oh, man. Okay. This is one of those ones that people will be like, this movie's cheesy as fuck. Larry Drake. You know who Larry Drake is? The actor?
Yeah.
So he was the Santa Claus in the one episode of Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
He was Darkman. So imagine him with a very creepy laugh, and he is this. His dad I think it was the dad and the mom had passed away, and his dad was, I think it was his dad was a, what do they do when they take care of the dead bodies?
Mortician.
Thank you. He to avoid his son getting into trouble, he sewed him up into a woman's body. Yeah. So when he came out of there, he had an evil little laugh, and he'd always been fucked up for many years in an institution, blah, blah, blah. This girl has a problem with her heart in the movie, and if I remember right, I think it's the girl that played in Charmed. I can't think of her name, but the dark-haired girl. She was one of the sisters.
Does it have charm? Rose McGowan?
No, it wasn't Rose. It was the. I think her name was Piper. Was that?
Okay.
I don't forget her fucking name, but she had this heart problem in the movie, and he somehow took a liking to her and tried to help her, but he was killing people just left and right because he went back to his house and he became, you know, the doctor because he thought he was a fucking doctor. God, you got to see that, man. Like the laugh alone in that movie is just something. But Larry Drake played the shit out of that character. And I was super bummed I was supposed to go to a convention and meet him, and he passed away like right before. So I was so bummed about that because I always loved him in that episode of Tales from the Crypt too, because that's one of my favorite ones. But yeah, that's tough, man, because I never seen Shutter Island, so.
And I've never seen Dr. Giggles.
It's one of those ones where we gotta have that
draw again.
That's a draw. All right, man, we're taking a break. We're coming back, number 15, and we're getting there.
Yep,
we're getting there, man. So we'll be right back.
All right.